Welcome to the Kumihimo YouTube channel. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to some slightly more complex Kumihimo round braid designs, and these are counted designs. And by that I mean the sort of designs where you need to count out the beads for each cord in a specific pattern to achieve the result you want, such as this one that has little clusters, this one with little triangles, this one with beads along both sides, or this one with a wide stripe in the middle of the braid. And it is this one that I'm going to show you how to do today. So here is another example of it. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Now, the whole point of this video is to show you the pattern and not necessarily the specific quantities for what you want to make, because every braid differs, so you'll find that your tension or the precise dimensions of your beads or the state of your disc or the size of your clasp will make a difference to the length of your bracelet. So what you're going to need to do is decide how many beads work for you, following my pattern to get this design on your braid. So I'm going to move these away and bring in a Kumihimo disc, because with this sort of design, the most important thing I have to say to start with is that when you load your beads on, you must be in the correct position. Your cords must be in the same positions on the disc as the person who has created the pattern, me. And the position you need to be in is you need to have the next two cords to be moved, needs to be your top right and your bottom left. So how do you decide if you're in the right position? Okay, the first way is to look very closely at the cords and to see which ones are on the top. So if we look very closely at this disc, we can see that the navy cord is running over the top of these two silver cords here and here as well. So we know that these two cords were the last two to be moved because they're on the top. So that means that these cords are the next ones to be used. And we work for this braid with top right and bottom left. It doesn't matter which one you start with, top right and bottom left. The other way to decide whether you're in the right position is to look very closely at the shaping of the braid, of the cords. So if we look at the silver ones, you can see they're in a sort of, they're closer together here. So they form a V shape, whereas the navy cords are not so close in the middle, so they form more of a U shape. And what you need to remember is the V-shaped ones, they are the very next ones to be moved. And finally, what if it's your habit to finish like this? And that's quite common. So when you finish like this, you know that you've just moved this cord, and so this is the next one to be moved. So if this is the way you like to work, what you need to remember to do is before you thread your beads on, is to pop that cord back up to the top so that they're all in the same positions. And that starting point needs to be with 32 at the top, 16 at the bottom, 8 on the right, 24 at the left. So your standard starting position. So if you need to do a little bit of braiding first before you add the beads in, which you will do, make sure you do that first, and then make sure you're back in this position, and then you're ready to go. And this holds good for all counted designs with 8-cord round braid. So what I have done is I've tried to simplify the way these designs work by working out a 4-row repeat for each one. So what we're looking at here, and you can take a screenshot of this or you can go to my website, which is kumihimo.com, and you'll find more information there simply by searching for counted designs. But you can just, as I say, you can just take a screenshot of this, and this is your 4-row repeat, but I need to explain exactly how this chart works. So first of all, remember that the way the slots and the numbers are located on your disc might differ. Most discs have the numbers on either side of the slot. So this slot here, for instance, this one here, is in between 32 and 1. So on our chart, that's where it is. I've done slot 32 stroke 1. I've put 1 in bold because you will find that some discs, such as this one, have the numbers straight under the slot. So in which case, that's slot number 1. Slot number 1. So the way the chart works is you've got the slots, the 8 slots across the top, working round the disc. From this one I've already identified, this one here, this one here, and so forth, all the way round till you get back to the top, and this slot here, 31, 32. Then down the side, you've got 4 rows. This is your 4-row repeat. And then you've got A for your background bead and B for your stripe. Because just to remind you, this is what this chart refers to. Now, the number of repeats you need to do will depend on a variety of factors. So I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just going to give you a quick indication and say that if you are using size 8 beads, you will probably find that you need 9 repeats to make a small bracelet, 10 repeats to make a medium-sized bracelet, which is what this is, and 11 repeats or more to make a large-sized bracelet. Now, it is quite difficult to identify which chord is which once you get going. So I would always recommend doing a few extra repeats so that you know you've got enough beads. Or you can mark each chord with a number, just pop a little, an extra bead on with a number on it so you know which is slot number 1, 8, 9, etc. Okay, so how does this chart work? Right, so all you need to do is get some beads out. So I'm going to just pop them on the chart so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So that is going to be my background colour in this one, I think. So I'm going to make a blue braid, and I'm now getting out my contrast colour, my stripe, that's going to be in black. Whoops, they're going all over the place. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to make a medium-sized bracelet, so I want to repeat this 10 times, and just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do an extra repeat. Now each repeat will give you about 2 centimeters of braid if you are using size 8 beads, but of course if you use any different sorts of bead it will be different to that, and 2 centimeters is about 3/4 of an inch. But never take your braid off the disc until you're absolutely happy that you've got it the length that is right for you, regardless of what any pattern says. So the way this works is I'm now going to take the cord, this cord here in the slot 32 and 1. Oops, don't need to take it out of course. And I'm going to just work down the chart. So I'm going to do 1 repeat first of all. So I've got to do A, which is my background colour, and then B, which is my stripe colour. So I do A, B, A, A. So A, B, whoops, A, B. It's tricky not doing it on a mat. Sorry about that, folks. A, B, A, A. That's 1 repeat. I'm going to do another repeat. A, B, A, A. And I continue like that until I've got my 11 repeats or however many I want. Now I do recommend double checking once you've done them. So just get your cord out and divide them into 4s. So have I got that right? A, B, A, A. A, B, A, A, and so forth. Once I've done that chord, I carry on to the next one. So for the next slot, I'm going to go, again, it's actually the same for this one, A, B, A, A, and keep repeating. In the next slot, it's B, B, A, A, and I keep repeating that. So that is how you thread on your beads, and then once you've got them all threaded on, you simply braid in the normal way. So I'm going to remove the chart now. And here I've got a disc set up just with one repeat of each one. So when I look at cord number 1, I've got, that's a stop bead on the end. I can just see my 4 beads that I'm working with. I've got A, B, A. And quite simply in the normal way, I braid, dropping in a bead, catching it under the cord I'm crossing over. That's top down, bottom up. Same thing. Now, it doesn't matter which way you can turn to the right, you can turn to the left, you can alternate, it doesn't matter. These patterns will work whichever way you do it. And you just continue doing your braiding like that. If you need help with braiding, check out one of my other YouTube videos showing you how to do beaded round braid. And if you carry on like that, and if your threading was accurate, what you will end up with is a braid like that. So I hope you found that useful, and I hope you'll come back for more because I have these and I have some more planned as well to show you how to do different sorts of counted braid. And if you're interested in working out your own designs, that's a whole new field, but there's a great app you can use for that, and that's Kumihimo with Beads. There's only one Kumihimo with Beads app, so you should be able to find that. And finally, what I'd say is, if you use my work here, the charts that I'm using to show you how to do this, if you use them and make lovely designs, please recommend them to other people because it's a great way of spreading the joy. And I get a lot of questions about how to do this sort of design. So if these videos work well, I have plenty more for you using that same 4-row repeat that I've devised to make it easy. So happy braiding to you all. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will come for more. Thank you very much, and goodbye.